Together, we have had Luminary Global for about 3.5 years. We provide pre-hospital products and emergency preparedness supplies. We really love to custom build kits. We're working with Phil and Jason on some custom kits. So we sell everything from the elaborate first aid kits, EMT bags, active shooter kits, hurricane survival kits, and everything in between, and any kind of prepper item that you would ever want to put in your backpack or store in your basement. And I'm not going to talk too much about MDF because we actually have the expert here, so I'll just go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Thompson. We met last year. We've been working together since last fall to bring this product to market in the Tampa Bay region because nobody knows about it here yet. So we're really excited to have him here to be able to tell you more about the product, how it got started, as well as learn how to deploy it appropriately.
Okay, thanks. I don't know about the expert. Expert's somebody 30 miles away with a briefcase. So to that extent, I'm an expert, I guess. But I am familiar with the creator of this product, Dr. Mitch Fadum. I want to say, first of all, this is very personal for me. This is not a business deal at all. This is personal. First of all, I was Hawkins County Sheriff Chaplain, largest county in Tennessee, beginning in 1990. So I have a commitment to law enforcement, military, and so I care about you guys. I care about your safety, your health. And secondly, the guy I grew up with, Jimmy Lawson, was the first person to lose his life in our state. He was an officer of over 30 years. So it's very personal for me. I'm glad to be here. I'm here because I want to help you guys understand simply a little bit about MDF 500 and how to utilize it. It's simple, but it's complex at the same time. I don't know if everybody knows about the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge was designed in 1917. It wasn't finished until 20 years later. So the product had been around forever, but nobody put it together until the middle of the Great Depression. But when they did that, they realized the men were so afraid of falling that they did fall. And nearly every day in the construction of that 4-year project, somebody fell. When they realized they put a net under there, it would keep people safe, nobody died. You say, well, of course nobody died, there was a net. Well, they died because they didn't fall. They didn't fall because they weren't afraid. They weren't afraid because they knew if they did fall, something would catch them. That's kind of what MDF 500 is. It's a way for you to know that you're safe. If you fog your car or a facility or somewhere where the COVID-19 virus has been, you're going to be safe. It's going to kill it on contact. We allow generally a 60-second dwell time, but ultimately the product kills a virus, known or unknown, on contact. And so I want to tell you just a little bit about the history, and I'll tell you like Elizabeth Taylor told her last husband, if you're old enough you'll appreciate this, honey, I won't keep you long, okay? So Saddam Hussein said we're going to kill you guys, send you back in body bags, so we said we're going to create a product that's going to counter that, chemical warfare. The DOD partnered with the DOE, spent an unlimited budget over 7 years to create the perfect formula. They had to do 3 things. Number one, it had to be green, had to be completely non-toxic, non-flammable, non-corrosive, non-carcinogenic, and have a 0 health rating. Number 2, it had to be a ghost. It had to literally disappear or dissipate on contact. So there's no residual footprint. If you do spray it on glass on your windshield, which you probably will do, you might notice a small film there, but there's no biological residual footprint there. Number 3, and most importantly, it had to be the coup de grace. It had to kill it completely, finally, totally. So MDF 500, which stands for MODEC, decontamination formula, kills every chemical and biological pathogen, every hydrocarbon, every VOC, every virus, every bacteria, every germ, every bed bug, every scabies. It's not designed to kill bugs, but it does because it destroys. 2 things happen at the same time. There's a part A and a part B. Part A destroys the outer cell wall. Immediately, simultaneously, the part B destroys the inner cell membrane. So that's what's happening, and that's why you mix 2 parts together. It's a little bit of a hassle, I know, but so MDF 500 does what it's supposed to. It does it on contact. Sometimes you can get a little bit of the odor in the air, depending on the stagnancy of the air, whether there's proper ventilation. So I'm sure somebody's going to know how long before I go back into the room or car before it's safe. Technically, it's safe immediately. Well, you should probably wait 15 to 30 minutes at a minimum. If the air is very stagnant, there's nothing moving, you may need to wait longer. It's really up to you. If you sense it and it bothers you, then wait a little bit. But it's safe. MDF 500 was created, as I said, by the military, for the military. It's been used by the CDC, Homeland, CIA, Secret Service from day one. They often carried an aerosol can to counter anthrax or chemical weapons. It's safe for that. You can use it for any chemical weapon or any chemical threat. If you have a truck turnover and you have a lot of MDF 500 and you have a huge chemical spill in the road or wherever, it's perfectly good protocol to use that to neutralize that chemical threat. So there's a lot of uses, as I mentioned. But anyway, wanted to demonstrate how to use it. Jeremy's going to help me here in a second. I'm going to get suited up. We're going to go. I'm going to go in here and fog the room and then fog the car. Answer any questions that you've got.
I'll demonstrate how we mix it up.
Yeah.
While Dr. Thompson's getting ready. So this is a standard commercial fogger, and it's got a 2-gallon tank capacity on it. Since you use a equal part mixture of A and B to deploy MDF 500, this is ideal in case you want to for a large application, because you can use 1 full gallon of A and 1 full gallon of B. They come in 1 gallon containers. Doesn't matter which one you put in first. There will be some foaming when you put it together, but it'll dissipate kind of like a beer. And after that, if you have sensitive skin or oversensitive skin, you can always put some gloves on if you like, but it really doesn't, it's not harmful, it's not toxic. These foggers, American made out of Michigan, they come with markings on the canister, so you can mix MDF in whatever canister that you deploy it in, and it really doesn't take a lot of mixing. Right when it connects with each other, it starts the reaction. So you'll have a marking here anywhere from a ½ gallon all the way to 2 gallons. So what we'll do is we'll just start mixing. It's fairly simple. We'll probably put a gallon in.
Does it lose potency or effectiveness the longer it stays mixed together?
So the mixture is typically good depending on the concentration, because you can go to 1:1 and you can also dilute it. Like you can dilute it and use it for carpet cleaning if you wanted to. But the mixture is usually good for 8 to 24 hours depending on your application. And that's usually runs the effectiveness of it. So it's got a good staying power on it. 1 gallon of treatment will run anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000 square feet for one mixture right here of liquid. And now the biggest challenge that a lot of people have is over application and oversaturation. You don't want to get it to the point to where it's like running off, and usually you're just going to have to get used to your fogger or your application mechanism to get the right hang of it basically. And this fogger, it's got a long tube on it. You can like loop it if you want, shorten it, but the key with this fogger is to make sure that the seal is flat and not to force the clamp on it to bend it to break the seal. And then you just kind of mix it up a little bit, it'll foam.
Do you want to just finish both of the containers in there, just to make sure in case you want to do more than one?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put the rest of because these are equal parts. But you can see the foaming a little bit when it reacts. And we'll just
What's the shelf life on these individually without mixing them?
without mixing them, I think they're indefinite. Yeah. And this fogger's pretty powerful. It'll shoot shoots 10 to 13 feet for the application. So you'll see on the instructions that get distroed that when you're doing your vehicle, and he'll demonstrate this later, get a good 6 to 8 feet apart so that you're blasting the surfaces and get that oversaturation. But as you can see, if you're in a confined space, better safe than sorry.